Hi guys, I am here to talk to you today about your typology project and talk about how you might make a typology, photographic typology using Adobe Spark. The first thing you're going to want to do is log on. You can create many different things here that are formatted for like Instagram, Facebook. Adobe Spark is like a simple tool that is made mostly for social media, like making quick designs for social media. You can also make some cool photo collages and things here, other presentations and slideshows. I'm going to choose today within Adobe Spark Photo Collage. So you are going to be uploading your own photos for this project. But you can actually do this once you get in the program. So I'm just going to skip it for now. And it's going to let me choose a size. I am, for my project, going to choose a square today. But you could choose one of the other shapes if that would be better for your typology. So I'm going to choose a square. It's going to take just a minute to load up for me. So once I'm here, I could choose from one of these templates, but I think I'm going to make my own. I looked at a lot of the typologies and I really like the gridded format. So I'm going to, within this square, I'm going to be making a grid of square images. And I have chosen for my subject googly eyes. I think it's really, I think googly eyes really are fun to look at photos of googly eyes because I like how no one thinks that they're real eyes, but like you can read expression into them. I think that they're fun, and that the sort of ability to read expression into something like the googly eyes like just really interests me. So I'm going to try to make something with googly eyes. I've actually found my pictures all online. But, you know, of course, like I could take pictures of googly eyes and use them in this project instead. Depending on the parameters of what you're doing, you might be, for instance, creating your own photographs to make a collage out of. Your teacher might have asked you also, you know, to make something out of found images. So be really sure, whatever you decide in terms of your collection, that you understand exactly what your teacher is looking for, whether they want you to make your own photographs or to get photographs from some other source. So once I'm here, I can bring in photos really easily by clicking the photos icon here. It gives me some different options about how to get my photos. If you know, say for instance, I could have been really smart and brought many photos over to my Google Drive and made a folder for them. I've just been working on my computer this morning and I've saved them into my downloads. So I'm going to upload my photo, and I am going to be uploading my photos from my downloads. Okay. So here's a good one. I'm going to go ahead and open that up. All right, so this is more or less a square image right now. I feel like it's going to need to be smaller to fit 3 across. I'm thinking I want to do 3 across, 3 down. I have a feeling about this project that probably the most difficult thing is going to be cropping the images and placing them so that they fit into my desired grid. So, you know, just keep in mind, you're probably going to have to resize some things. All right, so I've got that guy there. I'm going to upload another photo. Downloads. Okay, so I've got another square. I'm going to set it here. Obviously, I'm going to have to make this significantly smaller to work here. So I can resize my image. Go. It feels to me as though the eyes are a little larger in this one than they are in my first one. I kind of feel like I want the eyes to be a similar size. I might go down a tiny bit in scale here. You're going to see, like, when you start moving things around, you're going to get alignment grids. I can see that the top and bottom of this one are not quite in 100% agreement. Okay, so I've got a couple eyes. I'm going to try another one. Oops, that was the wrong image. All right, so these are not bad in terms of the scale of them, but the shape of the photograph is wrong. I want to make it a square format like my other photographs. So I'm going to go to crop and shape, and I can change this format of this photograph into something more square. When I get it where I want, I can hit enter. Like I said, I think that spacing these out on the page is probably going to be one of the more challenging aspects of doing this. I feel like this is a little bit too tall still, so I'm going to try to crop and shape it one more time here. The height to width is a little off. It's not quite square. Oh, get it to the same height as the other one. There we go. All right. So there's 3. I want to do 2 more rows of these guys, but it's going to be kind of more of the same, filling them in. So I'm going to try to add a couple more here. I initially thought that I wanted them all to be the same size, but I actually kind of like, much like the cloud image that we looked at, how this sort of gives a sense that they're a slightly different scale. So I think I might actually leave these feeling smaller than the others. I'm finding the more of these that I upload, the more I'm having to think about the placement of color. Because the first ones I put together, they were very bright. And it seems like these next ones I've brought in have been more dull. It's interesting. I don't know, just as an exercise in how you think about organizing things, I think. So how might I arrange these things, and think about color in a way that makes sense to me? I feel like that one's a little tall. Okay. It actually gives me, I noticed now that I've done this a couple times, that it gives me the ratio. I can make it square by clicking on this. That actually makes my life a little easier. So let me maybe go and apply that to these other ones and give them that 1-to-1 ratio. So I get that consistency throughout. One of the things that's important is like deciding like what you feel like needs to be consistent throughout each piece. I think like most of mine have been like lined up more or less in the middle. And I think this one presents an interesting opportunity. Let me see what happens if I crop and shape it down to that square. I maybe want to keep the alignment to the middle consistent here, but I kind of like that it's down at the bottom, and I like that that makes the scale feel different, that the scale of the eyes feels different, like within the context of the whole square. All right, we're getting there. Let's try one more row. For some reason that I cannot fully explain, like the placement of this yellow on top of that yellow, it feels too similar there. So I'm going to shift it over. I don't care for that really bright green next to the blue. So I'm going to try something different in there. I think that's better. Sometimes you got to go with your gut. I want to do one that's like really different than the others. Because, you know, I think that it's going to make people look at it. I kind of feel like these three that go down here in this diagonal are very similar in their placement. And size, maybe I want to mess with that a little bit. I thought initially that I wanted to make them all the same size, you'll remember. And I think differently about that now. Like I see the importance of them being a little different or more different. All right, let's try one more. This one's really different. Everything so far has been on a patterned background. Let's see if we can make this work. Or it's been on a plain background. This is patterned. All right. I like it. I think it is just different enough to like start making the piece interesting. I think I think I could continue to work on this and make it more interesting to look at. I think I might need to look for some more textures like this to change out some of these pieces with. And yeah, I think that would make the whole piece a lot more interesting to look at. I can also, you know, continue to work on my alignment. Some of these I can tell, like just at first glance, are not quite aligned properly. So I might need to mess around with that a little bit because the presentation is so important in pieces like this to getting that scientific sort of style, that regularity of the grid. You have to have a regular grid for that to work. I can see that my grid is not 100% irregular here. So it's going to need a little bit of tweaking. And that's okay. Because I knew from the beginning that this was probably going to be the most difficult aspect of this project, was actually just messing around with the grid and getting the grid exactly how I want it to be. All right. Cannot wait to see your typology and see what you come up with. I hope you enjoy my Google Eye typology. And yeah, I'll look forward to seeing what you guys come up with.